We're live. Thank you to everyone who wants to come and see the premiere of my new show, whatever I want to call it, Simp Smart. In this particular case, Simp stands for super enthusiastic, mega passionate. And today, of course, we have to start with AnnaWaifu, Synthetic Man's #1 simp. So let's go over the bases. AnnaWaifu. Everyone knows about your synthetic man love. So go on a little bit about that.
I mean, how do you want me to start this?
Just go about. Give us a quick overview of your love for synthetic man, your simpery, what it means to you, what gets you passionate about his content, but try to keep it brief. Everyone knows about this because of your content out there.
Well, long story short, high school depressed and found funny red pill guy that I watch, and he talks about video games. So there you go.
Mega base. Sounds mega base, girl. I could see why you would have started simping for him. That's what your channel's about. Let's also go with the other fictional man that you do actually talk about more on your channel, Handsome Jack. Another simp target of yours. You're definitely very passionate about that character.
Yeah, kind of. I don't talk about him as much. I want to. I mean, he's in my banner, but I would just say it's just because he's funny and he's hot and he's in one of my favorite franchises of all time. So
until #3, of course. But let's not blame them. Let's not blame the writers of 2 for the mess that 3 came out. Because, of course, they sort of went off the rails after that game and took forever. Then were a bunch of bitches. Copyright strike and bullying, blah, 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 blah.
I just pretend it doesn't exist. That's what we all do.
Yep. Oh, well, JP Mexican is simp. Simp greater than Stan? Yes, simp. And we're going to give simping a good name because it's about passion. Standing is just about standing around being a jackass. Plus, it's a K-pop thing, and who likes K-pop stands? Mega annoying on Twitter and a lot of other places. So, yeah, briefly touching on those two items that you figures that you are super passionate about. Let's get into something lesser known. Your love of Elvis Presley. Give us a little how you got into Elvis Presley. You don't really get a chance to talk about him on your channel. Video games, rants, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, unfortunately I don't. And I actually wanted to be an Elvis Presley channel at one point. I don't think any of my newer fans know that. But I would just say it was just kind of the reasons for Synthetic Man. I was very depressed. I was going through a horrible, awful time during school. You know, my grades were low and I was failing. And my history teacher, we were doing the 1950s block. And he was talking about Elvis Presley. And I was like, damn, dude, that guy is pretty awesome. And one of the first songs I ever heard was his Love Me Tender song, and it's the one that got me out of my depression for a while. So yeah, he's hot, and I love his music. So, and he's old fashioned, and I love the 1950s. So that's pretty much it. You love
that old style rebel hip swing, and he
hell yeah.
was so hip with the crowd. So came into your life at a certain moment, just affected you. And so why did you never pursue this Elvis Presley? I guess a little bit too retro, a little bit too niche. It's a little hard to sort of go along with that.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, because, you know, the Elvis hype was actually kind of dying down because that's, you know, my channel started after the movie came out. And I don't know. I wanted to, but I had more to say about video games and stuff. You know, I wasn't really the type to be like, let's upload Elvis footage for 5 minutes and could talk over it because that's boring.
Okay, let's boo the IJP Mexican. Boo. We do not talk about fat Elvis.
Hey, fat Elvis is still attractive.
Oh, really? You're gonna even
Yes.
you're even gonna simp for Fat Elvis? Okay, girl.
Yeah,
That's
hey, he was attractive even if he's a fat guy. Come on.
that I definitely was right to use massive as one of my sort of acronyms for simp. Massively
Oh,
passionate. Gonna
whatever, man.
even massively enjoy Fat Elvis.
Whatever, dude.
Yep. Love Me Tenderly was your gateway drug into your obsession with Elvis Presley.
God, have you seen my
So,
bedroom? Oh my goodness.
I don't want to. Sheesh. No, I'm sure it's like a shrine to all your. I mean, I did like what was it called? Odd Thomas. Elvis was a character in that book
Yes, he was.
/ movie. Actually, they cut him out of the movie. Those bitches.
Uh,
Such a great character in that, even though he didn't talk. Sort of a shame in
yeah,
reality.
it was interesting to me when he didn't talk, because his movements and everything was what that's how he showed what he was thinking, and the fact that he had like all these different forms, like he could be hot or whatever. It was really interesting, and I hate that
Yeah.
he wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, well, that definitely did suck. What did you think? So, do you think this puts you down on the path of being against the woke agenda? I'm trying to make some tangent sort of to it because they sort of say, oh, Elvis stole black music, blah, blah, blah. Your thoughts on that particular matter?
Absolutely untrue. He did not steal it. He just took inspiration from it, and because of him, that's why black music was even as well known as it was during the 50s and 60s, because black music boomed during the 60s. You had Prince. I mean, not Prince. That was way later. You had like God, who was that dude? Um, Ray Charles. You had that other flamboyant black guy that was getting the popularity during the 60s. Mama Thornton had her songs pretty well known. That's where Hound Dog came from. Then no, he didn't steal it. He just took inspiration from it, because he did give credit to people. He did say that, these other black artists are so much better than me. And to say he stole it, I think that's pretty weird, because there's other people that sing each other's music, like doesn't Beyonce do that all the time, where she takes other people's stuff and makes her own version of it? How come we don't accuse her of stealing? So,
well, let me not speculate on that, but yeah, it's definitely a big sort of thing. So, aside from your love and some of the questions I might have about that, is there anything in particular that is a misinfo about Elvis nowadays that you want to correct the record on?
The Mama Thornton thing is the biggest, the dumbest controversy I've ever heard. And so this controversy is he stole Mama Thornton's Hound Dog because it's her song. First of all, no, it's not. The song was written by two white dudes, so it's not her song. She just sang it. Second of all, the Bells Brothers sang that song way before Elvis did, and then Elvis Presley sang it, and then a few other artists started singing it right afterwards. Like, we're not accusing them of stealing, because he gave credit, and that wasn't her song to begin with. The song was those two white dudes. She didn't write it. It's not her song because she didn't physically write it, so that's stupid. But
yeah, did he give credit to the writers? Acknowledgement that other people did. Well, I guess you give credit to the writers. Different singers, different tunes to it.
Yeah, he gave credit all the time to people who sang before him. Like, he sang Tina Turner's Rolling by the River, and he gave credit to her. He gave credit to everybody, and there's a whole interview with him talking about about these black artists and all the inspiration he got from them and stuff like that. And quick note, I think stealing would be what I forgot what that one singer's name was, but he actually stole the song before Elvis sang it. So he took the song Elvis had and then sang it and never gave credit to him ever. So that's actually stealing, because he sang it before Elvis did, never gave credit. So that's stealing.
Well,
Johnny Carson. Is that who it was?
Sorry. It couldn't be. Johnny Carson's a comedian.
I know. Who is that guy?
Johnny
Carson.
Bravo, I remember him. Ooh,
Uh,
I believe Johnny Bravo would have stole it. He definitely
Johnny
stole.
Carson.
You definitely he stole a lot of stuff from freaking Elvis, so I can totally believe Johnny Bravo. Let's shame on Johnny Bravo here, because Johnny Bravo, so lame. I meant really. Who can respect Johnny Bravo?
Me.
I mean, you don't believe me? He's like a blonde. He's like a look. Look,
my favorite
I need to bring it up. Okay. Look, totally theft. Okay, definitely stealing both Elvis and the Greasers vibe. You want to have any problems with anyone stealing anything? I think it should be Johnny Bravo. Theft. Didn't even credit Elvis or the Greasers or anyone like that. So we found out the guy you don't get to talk about. So come on, give us a little bit more Elvis, or do you want to move on to another passion of yours?
I mean, it's up to you, man. This is your show. Do you want to talk about Elvis, or do you want to keep?
I want to know that deep dive, get into your obsession. Actually, yeah, let's switch on. I everyone watch out. I know a secret about AnnaWaifu. She has a deep love for the Kiki character from what is it, Carrie? That one actor? Not Carrie. Sorry, shit. Getting my freaking Stephen King mixed up.
Oh, Christine.
You were just she pretty much forced me and one of her other friends to watch this movie, and we were like, okay, this is good. And she was just simping for this man. So give us a little bit of the lowdown with that.
If you don't mind. I actually don't know. Funny enough.
Well, you too scared to bring up that personal story about your friend and your love for what was his name? Sorry, I'm not a simp personally. I can respect the
Arnie.
I can respect the hustle, but it's hard to really Stephen King movie.
It's Arnie. Arnie.
Arnie. Okay. Arnold. He'll be back, right? Something like that.
No, it's not that guy. As funny as that would be. I don't know. I think I just liked him back then because he just was kind of attractive, I guess. I don't know.
And he had a cool car.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.
He was like a yandere. He was a yandere kind of character. So
yeah, definitely fits into your vibe. Yeah. Let's bring this up. Stupid. Yeah. Beautiful car. Doesn't want me to even. Oh, here's a good pic of him. Let's see if they bring it up. Nope. But yeah, great pic of the man there. I can see why you stand on him so hard. Even you and your friend Force. Suppose. Let me not reveal that. If you want to reveal the story you told me here, maybe you don't want to, incriminate yourself. So yeah, let's move on from that particular story.
My favorite's actually that picture below it, where it says Christine and it has this like pale white face. That's actually my favorite picture of him. That one's really attractive.
Oh, okay. This one?
Yeah, like his face right there. It's like, I don't know. It's
a little gothic. I can't really.
Yeah.
I really can't. Ooh, a new image. Yeah. You can't really get a good look at it for the folks at home, but you can take a look at yourself if you want to know how sexy this Arnie guy is. If you're into that sort of thing. I mean, they have this picture here. That's not even really that attractive here, but we're here for AnnaWaifu. Let me not start finding my own women that I want to simp for, because we wouldn't be here too long, and this is all about your interests. So any more men or any other passions outside of what you talk about generally on your channel that you really want to get into, get off your chest, sort of give us a underlying deep dive.
We'd be here all night. We'd be here all night.
We have some time. Okay, we got some time to kill. Well, I want to really get into your passions. What gets you to create your YouTube channel? You got synthetic, man, video games. worried about the wokeness? What gives you the drive to make these videos to call out these people?
I
Did
would
the
just,
woke people hurt you? Did
well,
Synthetic
kind
Man
of.
save you from the woke gaming industry? I just have to know.
Well, I would
Up
just
the
say, just coming from, a traditional family, I would just say that I notice things that are very weird. And, I've been playing video games ever since I was like, 7 years old. And I notice things, I notice how many black people they're putting in games all of a sudden. I notice how many, females are making as main characters, which, obviously if a main female character is an issue, it's just how you do it. And I even said this in one of my recent videos, there are female characters that you can do right. Like you got Ryuko from Kill la Kill, you got, Lane from Experience Lane, and you got Maka. Like you got other, like the badass female character can be done right. It's just that when you see it in a multi-million-dollar project with a company behind it, you're like, okay, I see what you're doing. I know why you're doing this. So it's just, I'm way too skeptical to think that people do this out of passion in the big industries. So
That's a good tangent. You're saying a lot of anime chicks, they do it badass chicks right. Is there any one of them you simp for? You don't
no,
swing that way.
no, I don't swing that
Okay.
way, dude.
But can you respect them? Want to be them besides, sort of literally me characters within it. It's sort of the passion, someone you can respect, woman. Like, some woman from something out there, also Warriors here. I do remember Vader Zim. That seems to have been something you were talking about at some point that you don't really get into on your channel. You want
Yeah,
to
I like that
digress
show.
on that?
Yeah, kind
Better
of a
than
little
Johnny
bit.
Bravo, who totally stole Elvis's whole sort of shtick and was much dumber and less good of a singer about it.
Yeah, I don't know if Invader Zim counts. I don't think Gaz was a main character. She was more of a supporting character, but I could be wrong about that because it's been a while since I've seen the show. But I like Gaz. She was a pretty cool female character. Most of the females in that show were really good. They weren't these overpowered badasses who could take off all the men. And you can make a badass chick. It's just when you see them in these projects, say like, "Oh, I can beat up all the men," and the guys are like 6'5" and the woman's like 5'4". It's like, oh my god.
Anna, has any of these woke, overpowered females beat up a man you think didn't get the respect he needed? Someone you could have sort of been passionate about if it wasn't so horribly woke of a film or video game, yeah. Whatever medium of choice you want to get into.
Well, and people would say, well, that's kind of hypocritical. You just said you liked Ryuko Matoi, and there's a scene where she defeats like a big, strong man, but you got to understand that she got beaten the shit out of before she figured out a strategy to defeat him. She had to think of a strategy instead of brute force to beat him up, and it was his ignorance that made him lose. That's why Satsuki says idiot as she defeats him. So, it's a great example to beat up a man.
I even have no clue about what Andrew
Yeah.
Clark's. How about Johnny, the homicidal maniac? He definitely sounds very passionate, but I have no clue who he's talking about. Maybe he's playing off of my Johnny Bravo sort of a tangent there. Definitely sounds worse than Johnny Bravo in those regards, but I don't want to judge homicidal maniacs until I know the actual homicidal. They could be. Andrew Clark could be mislabeling that Johnny as a homicidal maniac, but side tangent. Let me not get too far off track. But yes, we got Elvis, tons of stuff. What about other music that you really get into? Any big music influences that might be downstream of Elvis, might not? Maybe you're a secret rap fan and,
No.
big. Oh, okay. No, not
No.
down with the rap.
No.
And maybe you should try some stuff. I know a lot of this mumblecore annoys me, but there's like Eminem. Everyone knows the Eminem stuff, but there's also people like Logic. And believe it or not, 50 Cent is not that bad if you get into some of his more esoteric stuff. But yeah, let me not try to throw. But music. You bring up Elvis. Is there any? You feel like there's any historical descendants of Elvis that aren't getting really the sort of praise they should, or is just Elvis your only music love out there?
Ricky Nelson, I would say, is pretty underrated. I love Ricky Nelson. Um, I don't think Johnny Cash counts because he's pretty well known. Um, yeah, I would say Ricky Nelson, that the Elverly Brothers, stuff like that. I think does need more attention because they are really good. It's just people don't really know about them as much, and most people don't know. This generation doesn't really know things from the 50s. It's just Elvis and Johnny Cash because they're so talked about nowadays.
When I was a kid, you know. Yeah, Ricky Nelson, for anyone who doesn't know, Wikipedia. Ooh, radio and television series, The Adventures of Oz and Harriet. Well, John Wayne D. Martin, you're definitely born in the wrong era, it sounds like. No modern day men or characters besides all the ones we know that you really think are really underrated and should be way more respected at all.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's get into some of that. Because we got the man of the hour, Ricky Nelson. Definitely seems underrated. I've never heard of the man before myself.
Oh wow.
But I'm not really a history and old. I think my mother talked about loving Elvis back in the day. Maybe you could get along with her. I wonder if I should set you up. Well, she's techno illiterate, so probably not. Okay. But yeah, so go on about your sort of men of today that you think really don't get the respect. Like Rodney Dangerfield. Respect. Never get any respect. That sort of stuff. And I butchered that. But yeah, go on about that.
That's pretty much it. I
Hey,
mean,
hey.
there's a lot of them that I think should get some recognition, but those are the main ones that I just love. And I even have a Ricky Nelson CD up here somewhere on my shelf.
No,
So
Ricky Nelson or Elvis or maybe Handsome Jack body pillow. I'm not going to ask about the
no,
synthetic man because that would
I
creep a lot of people out. But
I do
the
have an
rest, no
Elvis.
body pillow. But you are into anime. I know that personally. And you even brought up the powerful females done much better in anime.
Absolutely. Anime does all that shit way better.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how they do that. But some people are a little worried that they're like 10 years behind. The disco
Yeah.
was popular in the 80s and crap like that. I think personally they can pull through without getting too much of this sort of Western ideology. But yeah, I'm going to probably cover something about that in the future, but this is your time. We're here to talk about your passions, Anna. And we definitely went a long ways along. So, this also, I'm going to reveal another secret, and I'm going to also shame you. We did a total recording with about our love about Markiplier, and you never released that. Embarrassed
I
by
wanted
my
to.
horrible. You're not as sort of spontaneous, and you're very careful about what you put on YouTube, your YouTube
Yeah.
channel. I mean, I understand. Smart simp you are. Okay. You go along, you'll take things down, you'll try to course correct. You probably don't stream enough, but yeah, streaming's a little bit of a tough thing. You
I
need
mean,
practice.
okay, but there's actually a reason why I didn't release that, and the big reason is that it just didn't fit. It didn't. I I don't like having hour-long videos on my channel because it doesn't work. People like my quicker, um, you know,
Yeah, straight to
you
the point.
yeah, and
Yep.
I I also that was also the beginning of my channel where I didn't really know what to do fully yet. Like now I'm like, okay, I'm a simp. I simp for all these dudes, and once in a while I'll dip into a puddle and be like, oh, I'm gonna simp for Nanu for a little bit now, and then go back to Synthetic Man. But then I was like, no, I'll just do both because I love them both so much. But but the reason I didn't release it was just because it didn't fit my channel and it was too long and I struggled with the release because I had other videos in the backlog because I was busy with massage school at the time, so that's pretty much
Hey, hey,
why.
hey! I understand. Life gets in the way. You try. You also sort of got rid of that character. I sort of like the gay robot character you used on. But
I plan
sometimes,
to bring him back someday.
okay, a cameo. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a good little thing, but might not work well with your audience. You need to know what makes your audience happy.
Yeah.
But there should be a place for a space for you to lay things out with that. So,
I wanted to. I'll bring him back someday. It's just I didn't have the proper voice actor because I was like, oh, I hate this robotic voice. It doesn't sound right. So when I get the proper voice acting and even money to make like animations and stuff, because I always want to do that too. I always wanted to make lore. I always want to give my character lore, but I don't have the time and the money to like make animations and stuff at the moment. But hopefully I can do that in the future. Maybe have like a little lore thing going on. So I do plan to bring him back one day because I liked him too. He was really cool.
yeah, hard to work in. Maybe it's something that works better on the spontaneous, on the spot sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, we went over all the simps. There's more than just simpery and video games and that sort of stuff. We got into one thing about old school music, which fits you exactly. You bring up things like that. Let's talk about your fallen simps. Who has you really been interested in who's really disappointed? I hope it hasn't been Markiplier. I mean,
No.
I've fallen out of his content. I can respect the man. It's just not for me anymore. Okay. I'm assuming that's the same for you.
The Act Man, I would say, is one simp that I'm like, I'm not watching him anymore. I don't like his content. Um, but
Yeah,
that's
I
about it,
completely
though.
don't blame you for that. I mean, I don't think he's a complete and utter moron, but he's had some really bad takes in his day. Oh, what about Matt Pat? Did you ever like
Yes.
him? One of
No.
your most popular videos was on Matt Pat.
Oh
I can
boy,
respect
Matt
the
Pat.
hustle, but respecting him as a person is a little hard to do.
Yeah, I don't. I used to be like I respect him as a guy, but I hate his content. But it's just neither now because I know how horrible he is. I mean, he purposely keeps out information in his videos to fit his narrative. He will fire editors for literally no reason. He traced art. What was the word? He plagiarizes stuff. So he's not really
Oh,
that good of a person.
you have him on plagiarism? I think you should do a video on that if you can prove
Yeah.
the plagiarism. That's
Yeah,
big
Manga
right
Common went
now.
over it. Yeah, Manga Common went over it. He talked about how he traced art and never gave credit to anybody and used it in a
Uh,
video.
did he transform the art though? Okay,
Nope.
there is a case for just trace the
Yep.
Ackman did that. Whoa, deep lore on Ackman.
No, MatPat did that, not the act.
Oh, Matt Pat. Okay,
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
let me not throw the
he
wrong
traced art.
person under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Manga Common. Don't really watch his content much anymore. Really, way too much of a simp himself for Pokemon and a
Mhm.
lot of stuff I don't care about. Plus, he's getting in with weird people. But let's not go into that particular tangent. I'm guessing you're not simping for. You don't have
Mm,
much of interest, but that came up in one of your videos about playing it.
yeah.
But
I used to like him. I watched his MatPat videos and a long time ago. Like this was before he had that edgy PFP. He had that ghost skull thing, whatever it was called from that music video. But yeah, I used to watch him, and then I saw this video he made because it was in my recommended, and it was about that Pokemon video. And I watched it. And I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? You went over this whole rant about how you hate the game and how you hate how it looks and how you hate the heart style, and you said, well, I'm gonna buy it anyway because it's tradition. It's like fuck off, you know. Like, you don't make a
yeah,
video
that.
ranting about something if you're just gonna buy it anyway. Fuck
So
off.
let's get into what simps you don't like. People who their passion sort of lead them to supporting properties that exactly aren't kosher anymore, decline in quality. I'll say that myself, that a lot of video game has just people want to blame wokeness for it. I think that might be part of that little thing you call woke. Yeah, that might be a part of it, but I think that's sort of a cope. That's sort of an excuse. But that's besides the point. The general sentiment is you, and probably a lot of people don't like supporting, these video game companies that sort of fail and sort of keeping up the quality. So, super interested, massively passionate about things, and they change them for whatever reason, money, politics, blah, blah, blah. Let's go into that a little bit. Your thoughts on that, and maybe I'll interject a little bit to prod you for a little bit more entertaining reaction. Go.
So you want me to give opinions on what I think is other problems with it, with the industry?
Yeah, the simping for these fallen franchises like Pokemon and whatever thing you want to put out there.
Well, obviously, that's wokeness isn't the whole issue. It's just there's more ways to make money. There's easier ways to get casuals into it who don't care about the product. And this isn't all casuals. This is just I'm talking about it's also nostalgia eaters who buy the product because they just have an attachment to it, not caring about the quality. It's things like that are also ruining it. Like there's too many ways to make money. So the executives don't have to make good products anymore because people will buy it anyway, and that's the problem. I would say that's the main problem is just people
money is
it.
the root of evil, is what you're saying. Down with capitalism. I'm glad you're having such a woke take on it. Oh, sorry. Communistic take. Okay.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It's just, again, there's too many ways to make money. And of course, it's not just capitalism that's retarded. Capitalism is the best system we have. It's just people not caring about the quality anymore because you look at, it's not just games, it's TV shows, it's books, it's movies, it's everything. Everything's getting lesser quality because it's just, virtual signaling, too many ways to make money, people just not caring about the quality, stuff like that. So
they're watering it down to make it more palatable to a general, wider audience. What's wrong with that? I mean, geez, shouldn't the simps who loved it respect and want the people who created the company to sort of profit off of what they loved in the past? Of course, I'm just sort of white knighting for them, just to sort of put the point. Don't they deserve fame and praise? But of course, that sort of falls flat when you take a case like I watched a Deb video recently, I almost said something really fucked up. Yeah, short fat otaku did something on Skullgirls where basically that's actually an interesting case of where the original creators went woke and kicked out a lot of the men because of some sort of weird, they wanted to make a commune in the company and it sort of got rid of the fan service. But that's just a small little example out there.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, it definitely would be something that might be up your alley if you can. I think it's like way too long for you, though. You're not really into that long form content.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say those are the main issues, but you could have a different take on that.
Well, many people do. Many people defend different things. Simp versus simp. People who are massively interested in certain things will defend something just for, the nostalgia of it. It used to be good. Maybe it'll get good again. Are you thinking of a Doctor Who video? Those are popular now. Talking about how that's gone woke. Now they're going broke.
Oh my god, I wanted to make a video about that a long time ago, but it just wouldn't fit. So I wanted to, but many other videos have talked about it. So there was no point to me making one, and it just didn't fit the theme of my channel. But I did want to because I thought it was so stupid. It's such a stupid idea to do that. Because you please nobody.
Stupid ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're trying to please everyone. Yeah, you end up pleasing no one. Okay, let's do top 5. Let's do top 3 doctors that you would simp for if you weren't embarrassed by the current state of Doctor Who, at least. Come on.
Oh, damn. First of all, David Tennant, best Doctor Who. I love him. And I love David Tennant. the 70s version of Doctor Who. I love him too.
The 70s version, you can't say like Colin Baker,
I don't
the
remember
third
this.
Doctor.
I don't remember all
Okay.
that. It's been a while since I've seen Doctor Who. I mean, but the David Tennant one is the one I keep up with the most because that's my favorite. So,
Well, he does have a lot of simps, I'm sure.
oh yeah,
Plenty of
including
both
me.
women and men have are massively passionate about that particular actor, especially in his role in Doctor Who. But that's like the golden kiss. No Matt Smith love. I mean, he's been in some stinkers, but as Doctor Who, I guess a little bit too much of a geek for you, and probably not into the older guys. So I'm guessing it's the fourth Doctor, Colin Baker, the guy with the long sort of long scarf.
Oh yeah.
Seemed right up your alley. Quirky guy who bold. So
see, I like the David Tennant one the most, but I feel that Doctor Who is the best fitting one because he is like this wacky looking, guy, and Doctor Who is supposed to be. I, in my opinion, I think Doctor Who should be a wacky, mysterious dude that you know nothing about. That's
Tom Baker, Colin Baker. I get these names mixed up. You're absolutely right to correct me. And old Tennant was based, and Ninth is Ninth is still based with his sort of being like, yeah, I would have came back if it wasn't for all these cucks, sort of fucking up the stuff. But yes. So any other videos you would have made if anything in the news that you probably would jump on to sort of make videos on if it didn't sort of clash with your channel?
Yeah, probably just probably Doctor Who, Elvis stuff, anime probably as well, because I do think anime has also gone to shit in the recent years.
Okay, let's get into a little bit of that then.
Oh boy.
Okay. So anime, what is the shitty anime nowadays? It's a little bit more of my wheelhouse. So what sort of shit is shitting up anime in your opinion? I have my own opinion, but I would like to hear yours.
Light novels. I hate light novel anime. It is ruining the industry. Please stop it with the light novel shit. I hate it. Whenever I see an anime and it has that same art style with the big eyeballs and the skinny dude with the black hair and everything, it's like, okay, I'm gonna skip. Like I want it. Kill la Kill is the last anime that really, really surprised me because it was so my type of anime. So that's the last one I think really impressed me. And there's some gems in the rough, but that is the last anime that really impressed me because it's by Studio Trigger, and I absolutely love Trigger. Trigger is one of the best studios out there, still making pretty great stuff. They're the ones that made that cyberpunk anime. So
yeah, brought cyberpunk back from the dead. Such a bad rep. And now, did it win an award? I don't know. I didn't watch it, but someone came into chat and was like, 20 questions. Who do you think won? I'm like, I don't care. For every one of them. And he's like, why do you not care? Because it's corporate interest. It's just marketing nowadays, these award shows. Do you agree with that sentiment? Like these award shows aren't even worth tuning in typically.
No, not really. I don't trust award shows or anything like that. It's just which is why when Synthetic Man makes a video about it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna skip it. I don't care. I never cared about those videos at all.
Even if he's making fun of it and not really standing it anymore.
Yeah, but I know what he's I know what's gonna happen. It's kind of funny in the beginning when he made his first one, but it's like I know what's gonna happen, and it's just I don't care enough. I know the games I want aren't gonna win. And I know I'm gonna see like a bunch of black gay dancers or something come up on stage, and it's just cringe, and I don't want to watch it. So
nothing's worse than black gay dancers out there. I mean, well, there is something probably worse. Transsexual black gay actors or dancers, anime or not animated, I'm guessing. Now you can probably agree with that.
Yeah. You know what? I hate that too when people tell me I'm homophobic because I don't like any gay characters. It's not true at all. There's gay characters I
Oh,
love in certain mediums.
yeah. Okay, what gay characters do you love?
Leon from that show Roseanne, that sitcom. I love Leon. Kill la Kill. You got Nui Hajime is a lesbian, and she's one of my favorite characters ever. Um, you got
Hmm.
get certain gay characters from some animes I like. Um, you got that one dude from Fall. You got that one dude from Last of Us, Bill. He was one of my favorite characters, and he's gay.
Probably why you
So
took an issue with the show, also, how they just
yes,
sort of had to just dwell on that. Yeah, I didn't really catch up with that show. I have
I didn't either.
specialized interest, only so much time, so much passion. So much time, so much crap out there. I definitely will agree with that. Like in audible books, which I got into. It's definitely a good alternative. Like I hear like a lot of Doctor Who has a lot of audio sessions that are quite good. If that's an alternative path for people to take on. Personally, there's some it just audible books make it easier to get into thing to listen to certain things. But again, I'm pushing my stuff on you. This is all about your simpery. So we sort of got off on a bad tangent. Sorry, my fault. A little bit ADHD with that. So what sort of you said the generic light novels is what you think is the worst part of all of this? It's just the long titles or the generic or the mass production of it that's really killing a lot of this anime out there now.
Yeah, light novels, cliches, just. And I would say the cliches in anime is so much worse than like American cliches. I can't stand a
Like you don't
cliche in
like
anime.
Truck-kun? Everyone loves Truck-kun.
Oh my god.
You know, sending someone. I'm sure you're a hater of the isekai. There's some good ones out
Yeah.
there.
I mean, there's some
Okay,
good
just
ones, not a lot of them. Some
see,
good
that's the main
ones.
problem with almost everything, in my opinion. Just so much shit is being thrown against the wall. It's just hard to sort through that shit pile to find the good stuff. It's just oversaturated, so you just assume like all isekais are crap. There's a lot that are crap, but there's a few, as you said, diamond in the roughs in there. So you miss a lot of stuff because of all the other crap, and you sort of don't want to be in the actual fandom. That's another good tangent I think we should branch off on to the fandom. Okay, definitely
Oh
has to
god.
go. I'm not really someone who gets into these fan cultures. You know, I think standing and actual simpery, not to credit hate on you at all, but actual just brainless, mindless, not critically thinking about these people. Like I like in Stitch and Adam, and recently I did a video that's actually doing quite well, actually criticizing one of their takes. I mean, I think you did a video like that and you got a little bit of pushback for that.
Oh, what? Which one was
No
it?
gray, no gray, not that actual fandom. Sorry.
Which video
But
got
yeah,
me some pushback?
the one where you had your hot take on Synthetic Man.
Oh yeah, that one got some hate. Yeah, that one was never
At
doing that
least you're
ever
not a
again.
blind simp. You massively enjoy Synthetic Man, but you don't go one to one lockstep with all his opinions. And I think he would approve of that. But some of his fanboys and fangirls, probably more his gay fan boys. I may not bring anyone up from the past that I've seen comments from with uncritical thinking.
I mean, that video
Let me
was
not bring any
horrible.
of them up.
Like, I can't even believe Synthetic Man's biggest fans would say that video was great. It was horrible. Like, it is the worst video he's ever made, and that's the only video I've ever said where I think it's horrible. Like, I could not believe how much
And
hate that
just
was
for the
getting.
record,
You
that was
know?
his Doom video. Okay.
Yes, yes, the worst video he's ever made. No one's gonna change my mind on that. I don't care how many fanboys go in my comments. Like, they all know deep down I'm right. Like, the fact that he said that you're an idiot if you look up a guide for a single player game. Like, excuse me? So stupid. Like,
Yeah,
how are speedrunners supposed to do certain things if they look up a guide? You know? Like, that.
Yeah, learning to play better. Okay, I mean, if you just want to enjoy it, want to go at your own pace, a lot of people do the Dark Souls. Say don't look up the guide, and people shouldn't ruin it. Different strokes for different folks. Okay. And I'll even give the woke people some credit with some things, but I think it's also a matter of just stupidity. They don't learn from traditional, because there's a general rule you learn in writing. It's okay to break rules in writing, but first you need to learn how to do it right before you break the rules. Like trying to run before you start. Do you think that's half the problem with wokeness, or it's just the whole ideology is just pure and utter garbage?
Well, it's both. It's I'm one of those people where it's like I don't care what you believe in unless you don't hurt anyone and you're not forcing anyone to be in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but the problem with this modern wokeness is that they push it onto you. They want to shove it down your throat. And that's the main problem for me. Like if you're a flat earther who believes that there's no atmosphere, go right ahead, you know? Like
Yeah.
but
And you can't simp for a straight white man without being considered racist or something like
yep,
that. They'll
exactly.
just focus on that.
Yeah, that's the
Also, the
problem.
lack of humor, I think, is permeating even within the rightoid space. No one can make jokes anymore because of how woke scold is sort of getting the rightoids to also become anti woke scolds.
Yeah. Just I want again, I just want it to be stopped where it's like stop forcing me, forcing it onto me because there's games where it has messages I don't agree with, you know. For instance, I'm not anti-war. We do need, some war to keep us protected. If nobody protects anything, then the whole world's going to be taken over. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
war. What is it good for? It's
Oh,
good
shut
in
up.
case you need to defend yourself or stop, a genocide of some
Yeah.
type or a Holocaust. Yeah, there's
Like,
pros and cons. People tend to be too hardline here and there. The nuanced position gets too much of a bad flack. Okay,
hmm.
personally, and it's good. And the war on jokes is just ridiculous. But I'm getting way too serious, I think, right now.
I think I
And
remember your video about that with Grey Poupette, y'all talking about comedy or comedians.
yeah, sheesh, sort of comedy going on. The sort of how it's sort of trended towards not being about the sort of setup and execution. It's just about funny thing. You just string those things together. That
But
that sort of is just too brain dead of a. I mean, you can find there are ways to execute it well, but take the people think anyone can do it, and no, that sort of stuff takes proper execution to even do it halfway well. And even the people who do it halfway well, in my personal opinion, fail half the time, more than half the time, like Andy Sandberg. But that's my personal thoughts on that. I'm sure people are going to roast me for that in the comments section. And you and everyone, but you need to have fun with this. Stop taking life so seriously. Simply, you need to have a good balance. It's good to be passionate about stuff, but you can't be overly serious and not have a sense of humor about that. And frankly, I think Synthetic Man gets a little bit too bad a rap. He's still super cringe, but I'll respect his game for your sake. You've shown me much of what most people didn't see. I'll still criticize him, but even you will. So, we've gone full circle back to Synthetic Man, back to the beginning of this thing.
it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard not to talk about him.
Yeah, well, is there any other things you're super interested and massively passionate about that we really didn't cover that you really want to get out there, just for the record?
I mean, mediums. No, I think we cover that. Games, anime, and stuff like that. But
I
I mean,
mean, there's more we can go in depth, but as I brought up, unless you have all the facts, people will be like, "That ain't true. Light novels aren't destroying anime." I think just the titling alone is freaking cringe and making things annoying. Titling's the worst.
Digibro, man, Digibro. I don't even like Digibro anymore, but even he said, yeah, light novels are one of the
Hey!
worst
Don't
things
be
ever.
transphobic. It's Digi
Oh
now
my
because he's gone.
god.
He is now she. Okay.
He only did that because he was getting called out for being a lolicon. That's the only reason he turned trans. I don't care what anyone says. That's the
Oh,
only
like
reason.
that's gonna help any what?
I mean, it
You're being
did.
called out.
People
It
forgot about
did.
it. Yeah, people forgot about it. So
Okay, and now he would probably be re-criticized for it again, given the trans narrative. But let's not get into such a heavy topic. Probably something you don't want to weigh in. That's a fucking basket full of shit, along with the lolly wars. No, don't want to touch it. Don't want to get canceled on
no.
X or anything like that.
Ain't gonna touch that with the 10-foot pole at all.
Yeah.
That's
I
one
had my
topic I avoid.
Yeah, I like talking about that in private. Just come up with pro arguments and anti arguments and clash them against each other. In theory, okay, it's just about the argumentation. But I'm someone who can separate my emotions from certain things. But yeah, okay, we got anime, we got Elvis. So
I guess we could talk about Pokemon. You want to talk about that? Because that's something
yeah, definitely something you were interested in. Just get it all out there, girl. Let's get into your intro.
Man, Pokemon. First video game I ever played was Pokemon Red, and I can't believe it's shit now. That was the first video game I ever played, and I stuck with Pokemon all the way to like the 6th generation, and then I remember playing Pokemon Sun and Moon, like with a friend of mine or something. I was like, oh my god, this is so shit. And the only good thing that came out of it was that character Nanu. That's the only thing I remember from it.
Is that the one who everyone was saying was black and they were drawing them wrong? Or okay, that's a different.
No,
game.
that's Ness. That's Nessa from Sword and Shield.
And she's probably a whiner. Okay, go on, come on. I'm throwing a little bit of shit out there to trip you up for funsy's sake.
Yeah, that's another dude I simp for is that police officer. Nanu, he's so cool. He's like the most interesting character we've got out of the Pokemon series in forever. Like, oh my goodness. No character since like the 4th generation has even been as memorable as him. So I guess they had a good writer in the room for like 5 minutes to write up his character and cutscenes and then left. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. I didn't. Don't hate on me. I didn't really like the simpery of, I think, Brock in the original Pokemon. That was a bit cringe as far as I'm concerned.
Is he like 14 and they made him like simp for like grown women? It's so weird.
No,
that is so
he
weird.
Was 14. I know, like Ash. I thought he was like 16 or 18.
No,
I
Ash
thought he was
12.
the old man in the group.
No, Ash was 12 when he started his journey, and Misty's like 13, and Brock is like 14.
I guess, geez, he was 14 and he looked okay. Yeah. Oh, let me not even get into that. I didn't even know the age.
Yeah, I remember someone in my chat when I was streaming was like, "Did you simp for Brock?" And I'm like, I didn't even answer the question. Like, I'm not even going down that path. Like, I'm not even gonna say nothing.
And you're just gonna kill yourself that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Some questions should be a mystery. It's funner that way.
Yeah. That's why I was actually, because I was about to release that video on Christine. Like, I was about to say, like, oh, how I simp for Arnie or whatever, but then I remembered what age he was. Like, okay, I'm not going to release that video now. So, I
Warriors trying to poison the well. Do you simp for Napoleon Dynamite? Ooh.
No, hell no.
What about Napoleon Bonaparte? Supposedly, someone, Ridley Scott or someone created a movie and he's really mad that people are shitting on it because of bunch of stuff.
I'm a Black Dynamite fan, Warrior, not a Napoleon Dynamite fan.
Black Dynamite, okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. I grew up with Black Dynamite. Dynamite.
Oh, black man. they can't call you racist anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I love Black Dynamite.
Brock being 14, simping for grown women, that's actually pretty realistic to be. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they predicted our future.
They predicted the future, and it's not looking good, especially when the female women in authority sort of take advantage of that. But let's not get into that now. Ooh,
it's another example of a pretty strong female character is Misty from Pokemon. She was really cool.
Well, I can't agree. better than Brock, probably even better than Ash overall. Ash was sort of annoying. Okay.
I hated Brock when I was younger in the show, but they made him better in the Sun and Moon anime, and then in the Pokemon Origins anime, he was fantastic, and he was actually an adult in that one, so you can simp for that one, guys. So, yeah,
Pokemon has a
yeah.
torrid past. You have a mixed relationship with that. Personally, I
Yeah.
like what I call edgy Pokemon, Shin Megumi Tensei, as you know, demons. It's more ethically fine to sort of capture demons as opposed to cute little animals that can only say their name to sort of communicate. Seems like it's sort of a picking on retards. They're halfway intelligent. They can communicate names. Just really weird. So I like the edgy Pokemon. You can have angels, demons. Never got into that Shin Megumi Tensei.
No, I never got into it. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
never was into it.
Okay, had more of the anime aesthetic. They had like Dante in like Nocturnus 3. They had I want to say Demon Lord Dante, but no, they had Dante from Devil May Cry as an optional character in at least the PlayStation version. So surprise, the crossover didn't work, but fair enough, fair enough. But so you got all the simpery, all the stuff you're interested out that you wanted to sort of discuss.
I guess so. Like, I guess if are we like signing off or something?
I mean, we're just doing the deep dive. If there's nothing
Uh,
more to deep dive into, girl,
I mean,
sorry.
I guess the last thing I want to say is just that I haven't given up on Pokemon. Like, I don't buy the new games, but I still play them, like, on emulators and stuff. It's like, it's a series I can't abandon. And I even remember, I even had a fan make a Synthetic Man mod for me for Heart Gold, so that was pretty fun. That was pretty funny. So, because I made
Talking
a joke.
about Shadow.
Yeah. Oh, Shadow
President
the
Redacted
Hedgehog.
talking about Shadow the Hedgehog. Awesome.
Oh, God.
Stupid as all hell, but almost funny in a stupid way.
I want to make a video about that one day. I absolutely love Shadow the Hedgehog despite being such a bad game. I love it.
Yeah, you can definitely like a character. You can like a concept, but not like the game. There's a lot of
Well, no.
things that I like the concepts behind it. Like there was a game called Remnant. It was a completely horrible game, but it had a sort of RPG mechanic where you had sort of party synthetics. So you had like 4 characters in the party and they acted together. And let me not go into that, but you can like things individualistically and think they're really badly executed. So that's how you feel about Shadow, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I felt about the movie Brightburn. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a good concept.
I
Evil
love the
Superman,
concept. Yeah, I
but
love the concept
but the
so much.
execution was a little,
Yeah.
cringe.
Too cliche. It was just, it didn't make any sense why he was hiding everywhere. Like, you're a super villain. You can kill anything. You're indestructible. Why are you sneaking around? Like, what? And it
Because
just,
it's a horror movie.
oh
They
my
had to go
God.
for the horror movie tropes. That's my theory on it. Who knows the reality of that?
Because I was so excited for that movie because I used to read that series called Steelheart, and it had the same kind of premise where it was superheroes but evil, and and when I heard a movie was coming out with the same premise, I was like, oh my God, this would be so cool. And then I watched it and I was disappointed. There's
Yeah.
so much potential, so much potential.
You want to simp for something because you like the core concept, but it just doesn't get the interest up. Shit.
I can't even sit
Okay.
for the main guy because he's a like little boy, so I
Yeah,
don't even
you
get
can't
anything
do
from that
that there.
angle.
Yep. He can't be attractive. And even if he was attractive, if you had okay, bad route again. Bad Vincent. Bad Vin. Okay. Not trying
Oh
to
my
take you down that
God.
path. Let's not get any of us canceled here.
I
But
almost smacked my
yeah.
head on the desk. Like, what are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm trying to have fun. I really think we got deep into the AnnaWaifu super interest and being massively passionate about what you like about things that definitely you don't feel like you can express on your channel. And completely understand that. Everyone has a gimmick. I think I'm going for a schizo sort of a gimmick right now, but I don't. I used to want to go for the mad scientist schizo thing, but I just do what I want and have no general overarching theme. My overarching theme is have fun with stuff. And so, what do you think? That is that your general principle? Are you trying to change the gaming industry, or are you just doomer pilled on that?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm changing it. I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on how we can make it better. I'm not trying to change anything because I know it's not, but just trying to make people aware, try to put a seed in their brain to understand that, there are problems with the industry, and these people just pretend that it doesn't exist. There's no wokeness, there's nothing going wrong. It's been better than ever. And I'm like, oh my god, really? Like, I listed off like 40 games in that one video from before 2009 about how great the industry used to be. There's so many great games coming out, and I can't believe people have the nerve to say that the gaming industry is better than ever. Like, what's wrong with you people? Like, you can tell these are casuals who don't care because
Well, it's making lots of money. That's their logic, I'm guessing.
and I even said that. I said it's bigger financially, not quality. There's a difference.
Yeah, but it's really hard to get into the nitty gritty of what makes something quality. And even if you do a argument with that and opinion piece, people are going to disagree and be like, "You're just stupid." The George Carlin quote I love: "Think about how smart the average person is, and realize 50% of the population is dumber than that." My go-to quote with the intelligence of the world. You want a broader market, you got to appeal to that 50% dumber demographic there.
And I know you left a comment in a video that said you didn't even know the Avatar game was out, but Avatar the game is just Far Cry 7, but with blue Smurfs. Like, it's so low. Like, it's the lowest
It's like that
game
South
I've ever
Park
seen.
Dancing with the Smurfs. Cartman and Blueface. I wonder if some blue people were the group Blue said Cartman was being racist with that. Who knows?
It's like every other Ubisoft game I have ever seen for the past 6 years. It's nothing. That's what I mean by quality and financially, because there's no quality in it. It just feels like a cash grab.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
why?
we're coming back around. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe the market will crash again. Remember what ET did?
Oh my gosh.
That pretty much destroyed it. And nowadays, you see some of the Spider-Man 2 simps sort of simping for that. Oh, maybe standing is a better word. You see
Spider-Man
the salt
2.
miners talk about that thing and how they cried about it not getting these nominations, but winning no awards. But again, they shouldn't feel too bad because award shows are just marketing ploys, okay? And sorry, Spider-Man 2 it was just not that great of a game that the marketers felt that they could push that in their
Spider-Man
marketing
2
program.
is fine. It's
Oh,
a
sure.
5 out of 10. 4 or 5 out of 10. It's
Completely
fine.
and utterly average with a bunch of
Yes.
bugs, I'm guessing, from what I've seen.
It's average for the modern day gaming standard. If this game was made like 10 years ago, it would be like a 2 out of 10. Like, I can't believe
Hey,
that
no,
this
the graphics would have been awesome for 10 years ago.
but
It's the rest of it that would have failed, okay?
But that's it, though. Like, what else does it offer? Like, if I played that game back then, I'd be like, yeah, the graphics are cool, but what else does it have? Like, I wouldn't even touch the game after playing it, like, for, like, maybe 20 minutes. Graphics does not make a game for me. It has to be something really, really special for the graphics to grab me, like something like The Last Guardian, where it was so beautiful that it actually made me love it. It was
Yes,
just
but the aesthetics
so
of that
beautiful.
game sort of played into the theme of the game, I personally
Exactly.
think.
Yeah, I think that's why I loved it too. So
There's some games where the beauty and the scenery sort of fit the actual game design. I'm personally disappointed. So many, I've seen several people not even understand the concept of game design. Five, sorry, sneeze there. Just being so completely stupid and people just sort of cheering them on. But again, like every industry, gaming, media, it's just so saturated. You're going to find someone that you can be interested in or even passionate about, even if they're complete and utter dumbass, just because you like that sort of stuff. Good, easy, consumable content, dunking on the chuds or anti SJWs or the SJWs, going for the own is always fun with the blood sports and that sort of mentality there. I personally like to have a little bit of nuance. I think you don't exactly go for that. I mean, when you criticize people, you feel you got a point and you like to point that out. I like attacking arguments over people, but different strokes for different folks, people.
I mean, it's a mix of both. Like, if you're just a cool person but you have dumb arguments, I'm not gonna, make fun of you. But if you're like a dumb person and you're saying
make
really
dumb
dumb
arguments,
things, then I'm gonna make fun of
then
both.
You can't simp for those type of people.
Nope, can't.
So what is in the works? Got anything in the works for yourself or any new things you're thinking of trying out, like Simp Smart?
That would be a funny thing to do, but I don't know. I haven't, because usually I was always like, I always have something in the backlog. I have a idea, but now it's just I'm just kind of waiting throughout the week to see if I'm gonna make anything, because it's just I'm not burnt out, but I'm running out of I'm already feeling it as a YouTuber. I'm just feeling kind of like, oh my god, I need to make something, but I don't know what to talk about. What's popular? What are people talking about? Like, because that Nanu video failed because I was hoping, because that video was entirely made out of passion. There was no incentive for anything. For like, let's talk about something popular. It wasn't like that. It was completely made out of passion, and it failed. It bombed hard. So I was like, oh shit, I can't do that again for a long time. So it's
you used up your passion card.
Yep.
And I can understand how that can be deterring when you're trying to build up a YouTube channel, trying to make an audience happy. You want to have the audience. A lot of people do. You got to have that personality put out there. Can't have too many bad strikes against you. But, that's the way things go.
And I even said this in my Yanye video, where people were just saying, oh, you just talk about it just because it's popular. And it's like, it's part of it, but it's also because I have an attachment to it. I talked about the Avatar game because even though I said I wasn't a fan of the films, I still remember them. I still remember this was like the biggest thing ever back then because of all the effects were so good by James Cameron. And, I remember watching stuff like Titanic and, Terminator and stuff like that. So there's still some passion in there. I don't talk about something if there's nothing there, and that's why I didn't make a Spider-Man 2 video, because I don't care about superheroes. I don't care about Spider-Man. The video would have been like 1 minute long. Who cares? So
that might be actually funny to do as a funny video. Spider-Man 2, why I don't care about Spider-Man 2. Be like, you have like a really intro song and be like, I don't like superhero stuff and the Spider-Man stuff just seems like cringe, so I'm not going to play it. Then have a long outro. Have like a 5-minute video where you talk for like 30 seconds. That would be a funny video, in my personal opinion. But not really the sort of thing you typically do. You might get some backlash. So yeah, don't take any suggestions I give you, Anna. Okay, I'll give you some of the most wild ideas out there. You'll be like, why did you tell me to make that video? Be like, because I think it's funny. But my fans hate it. Yeah, sorry. I don't really cater to anyone in general. Sorry. So learn from my failures, which I will have many. Let's hope this series isn't going to be, because I have a few people in mind that I want to get for Simp Smart.
I was actually going to make a video a long time ago. When we first, it wasn't a beef, but it was just kind of like we weren't on the same page or anything yet. We just kind of got to know each other. And I was going to make a video called Why Vincent Martin Should Be Video Game President or something like that. And I never released it because it wasn't that funny. And I just didn't think it would work. I don't think people knew who you were at the time yet.
Well, I'm infamous now in small little pockets, but in the wider grand scheme of things, I'm still a no one. Though I seem to be able to I seem to be able to annoy certain people who are much bigger than me. It's quite interesting. I'm generally a good. I think I'm generally someone people can get along with, but of course I would feel that way. I'm not dealing with myself, so I don't know if I could deal with myself. Do you think you could deal with yourself? Let's say there's a clone and you had to deal with yourself.
No.
How do you think that would turn out?
No, I would kill it. I would be ashamed of anybody.
I would kill that clone of myself.
Yes,
with
I
fire.
would. I would stab it to death. I'd be like, no, there can't be two of me's in the world. There's only one simp in this universe.
You would both fight over the same simp and get into a fight about that.
Oh, someone asked me a question. Favorite Ratchet and Clank? Probably the first one. I wasn't a huge Ratchet and Clank fan, to be honest. I remember the second one, second or third one wasn't as good. But I think the first one would be my favorite, and the remake is really bad.
So many games, so little time.
Yeah.
I tend to specialize in certain things. Like you said, you got into Pokemon. I got into Shin Megami Tensei and a lot of the Dark Souls stuff. I see you're doing a little bit of that. What does it seem to be a clone of? The game I've seen gameplay. Vin something. It's like a very similar
Vindictus.
Vindictive. Yeah. That's almost like a anime version of Dying Light, I think.
I would say it's more like a what was that other MMO called? Something Guard or whatever. I don't remember, something like that.
There's so many things that take off of each other. Like a lot of people saying Fortnite was just sort of a copy of PUBG.
It kind
a lot
of
of people imitate, and they tried to sue them, but you can't really trademark battle royale as a concept. But they tried with a rather cheap game with PUBG. But let's not get into that.
God, PUBG is so broken.
We're wrapping up now, and I got into the in stuff. So, any in remarks you want to leave off with, AnnaWaifu?
Synthetic Man is king.
Okay. Well, this has been the first prototype, a trial episode of Simp Smart.
I would love to do
in this case. This is gonna sort of change every day, given every time, given what the initials stand for. But today, at least, it's super passion. Oh, I'm fucking that up. I'm fucking this up. Super interesting, massively passionate. Might be next. The initials might stand for a thing, but whatever you simp for, make sure to be smart about it. With that said, have a good night or whatever time of day you're watching this.
Stay simping for Synthetic Man. See ya.